The boy wasn't lost. He was hiding someone. And when Edge saw the dried blood on his hands, he knew it was too late to pretend he hadn't seen anything. But what was buried behind the fuel pumps was not what anyone imagined. Because that child knew exactly where to look, and that meant he had been there before, when it all happened. Edge Rider turned off his motorcycle in front of the gas station. The sign flashed 24 age, but only half the letters worked. The wind carried red dust across the empty road. He wasn't even sure if that place still sold real gasoline. When he went downstairs, he saw the boy, too small to be alone at 3 in the morning, maybe 8 years old. Dirty t-shirt, bare feet, trembling hands. He wasn't crying. That's what made Edge stop. A frightened child cries. A child in shock is quiet. The boy stood beside the bombs, staring intently at the cracked concrete floor. Edge walked slowly. He didn't want to scare him, but as he got closer, the boy looked up and grabbed the hem of his leather jacket. "You need to see it." The voice was hoarse, as if he had been screaming for hours. Edge lowered his head. "See what?" The boy pointed behind the bombs, to where the light didn't reach. Edge felt his stomach clench. He didn't know what it was, but he knew this kind of silence. The kind that comes before something rotten. "Is anyone there?" The boy shook his head. "I had." Edge took a deep breath. He looked around. No cars, no lights on in the store. The gas station seemed abandoned, but the pump was still working. Someone was keeping it open, someone who didn't want to be seen. He turned his eyes to the boy. "Where are your parents?" "I don't have." "Who's taking care of you?" Silence. Edge felt his jaw clench. He knew that answer. He'd lived it. "Are you alone here?" The boy looked at his hands. Edge saw them then. Dark stains between his fingers, dried blood. Not much, but enough. "Jesus!" He held the boy's shoulder, firmly, but not too tightly. "What did you see?" The boy swallowed hard. "She was crying. I heard her." "Who?" "The girl." Edge felt his chest tighten. "Which girl? What did he bring? Who brought it?" The boy pointed to the store. "The bomb man." Edge stared at the fogged-up glass. Inside, a faint light flickered. No one was behind the counter. But there was an old car parked in the back. A brown, dented Chevy with a faded sticker on the rear window. He looked at the boy again. "When was this?" "Last night. I was sleeping nearby." The boy pointed to an abandoned trailer across the road. "I heard screams. I came to see." "And did you see her?" "I saw him putting her in the car. She was hurt. She tried to run." The boy's voice faltered. "He hit her." Edge closed his eyes for a second. He felt the anger slowly rising, burning his throat. And then what? He returned. Alone. "Where is she now?" The boy looked at the ground again. "I don't know. But there's blood. Back there." Edge stood up. He looked at the bombs, at the darkness beyond them. He knew that if he crossed that line, he wouldn't be coming back. Not like this. He had ignored things before. He had walked right past them. He had told himself it wasn't his problem. But the boy was still holding the jacket, and those blood-stained hands weren't going to leave his mind anytime soon. If you feel this story needs to continue, subscribe now, and comment on where you're watching from. Because what Edge found behind those bombs changed everything, and you need to know. Edge walked slowly to the back of the gas station. The boy followed behind silently, his bare feet making a sound on the gravel. Edge stopped before reaching the pumps and looked back. "Stay here." The boy didn't move. "I told you to stay. I've already seen it." The boy's voice was too firm for someone so small. Edge recognized this, the tone of someone who had already seen too much, of someone who was no longer afraid of the dark, because the darkness already lived inside. He took a deep breath and continued walking. Behind the pumps, the ground changed, less concrete, more packed earth. There were tire tracks, recent ones, and then Edge saw dark stains on the floor. It wasn't oil. He lowered himself. He ran his fingers close without touching. Blood. Dry, but not old. Maybe someday. Maybe less. He followed the trail with his eyes. It led toward an area covered with old tarpaulin, tied between two rusty posts. It looked like a makeshift storage area. Edge approached. The smell came before the sight. Mold, urine, something rotten. He pulled the tarp back slowly. Inside, stacked boxes, empty bottles, a thin, stained mattress thrown in the corner, and in the opposite corner, handcuffs attached to a pipe. Edge felt his bile rising. There was no one there now, but someone had been, and for long enough to leave marks on the handcuffs. Marks of a struggle. He let go of the tarp and turned around. The boy was a few meters away, watching. "Did you come in here?" "No, I only heard." "Did you hear what?" "She was asking me to stop." Edge clenched his fists. He looked at the store again. The light was still flickering faintly inside. No one had come out. No one had come to see who was outside. Either the gas station owner was asleep, or the owner was asleep, or he knew exactly what was happening. Edge went back to the boy and knelt in front of him. He looked into his eyes. Brown. Deep. Too old. "What's your name?" Or, "Eli, I need you to tell me something, and I need the truth." The boy didn't look away. "Do you know the man who works here?" "I know." "Has he done anything to you yet?" Silence. Edge felt his heart beat slower. He waited. He wasn't going to force it. He knew that questions like that only had answers when the child decided to speak. Eli shook his head. "Not with me." "With whom?" "With the girl who lived in the trailer with me." Edge closed his eyes. "Where is she?" "He left. It's been 2 months." "Alone?" "I don't know. She disappeared at night." Edge opened his eyes again. He looked at the gas station, at the old car, at the empty road. How many times had that happened before? How many people had driven straight past, filled up their tank, paid, and left, unaware that someone was trapped just a few meters away, begging for help that never came? He stood up. He took his cell phone out of his pocket. No signal. Of course. "Does the store have a phone?" Eli shrugged. "I think so." Edge looked at the fogged glass door. He could go in, he could search, he could call the police and wait. But if the guy was inside, armed, waiting, what if the woman was still alive, hiding somewhere nearby? He didn't have time to wait. Edge looked at Eli. "Do you know how to ride a motorcycle?" The boy's eyes widened. "No." "Then you'll learn now." Edge led Eli to the motorcycle. The Harley was parked in front of the pump, the engine still warm. He opened the side compartment and took out a small flashlight and a knife with a black handle. "Sit here." Eli climbed onto the seat, his legs barely reached. Edge adjusted his position, placing his hands on the handlebars. "If I yell, you start that motorcycle and get out of here. It doesn't matter where, just get out." "And you?" "I'll manage." Eli looked at the store. "What if he has a gun?" "I have it too." That wasn't true. Edge didn't carry a weapon. He never had. But the child didn't need to know that. He looked at the boy's face. Dirty. Tired. Scared, but trying to hide it. It was the kind of fear Edge knew well. The kind that came from nights without food, locked doors, muffled screams, and no one coming to help. He had been that boy. 23 years ago in a small town in Arizona, Edge also slept wherever he could. He also waited for someone. He also thought that nobody cared, until a motorcyclist stopped. A big, tattooed guy, smelling of cigarettes and motor oil. He didn't ask anything. He just looked, and saw. He bought a sandwich. He gave it to Edge. He sat next to him while he ate. He hardly said anything. He just stayed there. The next day he returned, and the next, and the next. Then, 2 weeks later, he asked, "Do you want to leave here?" Edge had said yes without thinking, and that man took him away. Far away. To the road. To freedom. He taught him how to drive, how to fix engines, how not to trust easily, how to help when possible, how to ignore when there was no other way. But he never taught her to ignore a child. Edge blinked. He returned to the present. Eli was still watching him, waiting. "You're going to be okay," Edge said, more to himself than to the boy. He turned and walked towards the store. The door was unlocked. It opened slowly without making a sound. The smell of old cigarettes and reheated coffee filled the air. The counter was empty. Behind it, shelves with dusty products. No movement. Edge entered. He stepped carefully. The light flickered on the ceiling, humming softly. There was a door at the back. It was ajar. He approached. He heard something. A low snore. Someone sleeping. Edge pushed the door open slowly. A fat man with a gray beard slept in a reclining chair. The television was on, but the sound was off. He held an empty beer bottle in his hand. Edge looked around. The room was small, dirty. It smelled of mold and old food, but there were no signs of a struggle. No blood. No woman. He went back to the counter. He saw an old telephone on the wall. He picked it up. No dial tone. Cut. Of course. Edge dropped his phone and looked out the window. Eli was still on the motorcycle, staring intently at him. Then Edge saw. Outside, near the old car, something glistened on the ground. He left quickly. He walked over there. He crouched down. A small earring, made of silver, with a small blue stone, and beside them, on the ground, footprints, traces of something being dragged. Edge followed with his eyes. The tracks led toward the abandoned trailer on the other side of the road, the same place where Eli slept. Edge crossed the road without running. He didn't want to make a sound. The trailer was dark, windows broken, side door half open. He'd seen places like this before. He'd slept in places like this before. Now, I looked at them from the outside, and I always saw the same thing. The wreckage of lives that no one wanted to save. He approached the door. He stopped. He listened. Silence. He pushed slowly. The hinge groaned. Inside, near total. Darkness. Edge turned on the flashlight. The beam of light cut through the small space. Scattered trash. Rotten mattresses, syringes on the floor, traces of an extinguished campfire. And then he saw. In the corner, huddled up, a woman, young, maybe in his early 20s. Dark hair plastered to his sweaty face, torn clothes, hands bound with duct tape, mouth gagged. She looked up when the light hit her. Pure terror. Edge slowly raised his hand. Hey, calm down. I'm not going to hurt you." She shrank even further. She tried to scream, but the sound came out muffled. He lowered the flashlight, illuminating his own face. "I came to get you out of here. Can you hear me?" She stopped moving. She looked at him. Her breathing was rapid. She was still afraid. But something changed in her gaze. Edge approached slowly. He knelt down. "I'm going to take that out of your mouth, okay? Don't scream. There's a guy sleeping across the street." She nodded quickly. Edge carefully pulled back the tape. The skin underneath was bruised. She groaned softly but didn't scream. "Thank you." Her voice came out weak, hoarse. "Thank you, thank you. Calm down. Breathe." He began cutting the tape from her hands with the knife. "Are you hurt?" I think so. I don't know. He hit me. He locked me in here. He said he'd be back." "When?" "I don't know. It's been hours or days. I don't know." Edge finished cutting. She rubbed her wrists, trembling. "What's your name?" "Iris." "Iris, I'm Edge. I'm going to get you out of here right now. Can you walk?" She tried to stand. Her legs gave way. Edge caught her before she fell. "Everything's fine. I'll carry you." "No, I can't." "You can't, and we don't have time." Iris looked at him, her green eyes filled with tears. "Why are you doing this?" Edge didn't answer. He just picked her up, too lightly. He could feel her bones through her clothes. He got out of the trailer. The night was still quiet. No movement at the gas station. Edge crossed the road quickly but without running. Eli saw them coming. He got off his motorcycle. "Is she okay?" "You're going to stay." Edge set Iris down, leaning against the motorcycle. She held onto the handlebars for balance. "We need to get out of here," Edge said. "Now." Then the store light came on, and the door opened. The fat man left. He stopped when he saw them. His eyes went from Edge to Iris, then to Eli. He didn't say anything for a second. Then he smiled. "You shouldn't have done that." Edge put Eli and Iris behind him. "We're leaving." "No, not really." The man reached behind his back. When he pulled it out, he was holding a shotgun. Iris stifled a scream. Edge didn't move. "You're not going to shoot," he said in a low voice. "Too much noise, too much attention." The man shrugged. "Nobody comes here, and those who do don't care what they hear." The police called. "The police aren't coming. They never have." Edge felt his stomach churn. Because I knew it was true. How many times had this happened there before? "Let them go," Edge said. "If you want someone, stay with me." The man laughed. You're worthless, but she..." He pointed at Iris. "She's valuable. And the kid? There's always someone who pays for being a kid." Edge felt the anger explode, but before he could move, he heard engine roar. Several, coming from the road. The man heard it too. He turned his head, and then they appeared. 4 motorcycles, high beams, cutting through the night. They stopped in a semicircle around the gas station. 4 men got out, leather jackets, tattoos, heavy silence. Edge recognized the one in front. Hammer, club president. He looked at Edge, then at the man with the shotgun. "Is there a problem here?" Edge hadn't expected this. He hadn't called anyone. There was no way he could have. But there they were. Hammer walked slowly until he was beside Edge. The other 3 stood behind, motionless. The fat man held the shotgun. But now, he was trembling. "I said," Hammer repeated, his voice deep as distant thunder, "is there a problem here?" The man swallowed hard. That's none of your business." It turned around. Hammer pointed at Eli. "The kid called us." Edge looked at the boy. Eli looked away. "When?" "Before you arrived," Hammer said. "He borrowed the phone from a trucker who stopped here yesterday. He said something was wrong, that he needed help." Edge felt a tightening in his chest. The boy had asked for help, and someone had come. "What did he tell you?" "That the gas station owner was arresting people. That there was a missing woman. That nobody cared." Hammer looked at the man. "And that if we didn't come, it would happen again." The fat man took a step back. "You have no proof of anything." "I don't need proof," Hammer said. "I only need what I'm seeing." He pointed at Iris, hurt, trembling, clothes torn. He pointed at Eli, barefoot, hands stained with blood. He pointed to the marks on the ground. To the trailer, to the handcuffs behind the tarp. "That's proof enough for me." The man raised his shotgun. "I'll shoot. I swear I'll shoot." Hammer didn't move. "Then shoot." Silence. The man's finger trembled on the trigger, but he didn't shoot, because he knew. If he shot, the other 4 would pounce on him before he could reload, and there wouldn't be anything left. Hammer took another step. "Drop that." "No." "Long." The man shook his head. Sweat trickled down his forehead. Edge looked at the other bikers. They hadn't moved a muscle, but they were ready. He knew that posture, the calm before the storm. Then Iris spoke. "He has more people." Everyone looked at her. "What?" said Edge. He doesn't work alone. He has another man. He comes in the morning. He brings other people." The fat man turned to her, furious. "Shut up. He locks us back there," Iris continued, her voice breaking. "And the other one takes us away. I don't know where, but they don't come back." Edge felt his blood run cold. Traffic. It wasn't just abuse. It was human trafficking. Hammer clenched his jaw. "When is the other one coming?" "Early in the morning, before the sun." Edge looked up at the sky. It was still dark, but the horizon was beginning to lighten. "How much time do we have?" "An hour, maybe less." Hammer turned to the fat man. "Where does he live?" "I'm not going to say anything." "He is going, yes." "You can't force me." Hammer smiled. It wasn't a pretty smile. "I can't. But the police can, and when they get here they'll find everything, the handcuffs, the blood, the trailer, and they'll arrest you. And do you know what happens to people who hurt children in jail?" The man turned pale. "Then you choose," Hammer said. "You tell them where your partner is, or you wait for the police to arrive and find out for yourself." The fat man looked around, at Edge, at Iris, at Eli, at the other bikers. There was no way out. He dropped the shotgun on the ground. "He lives 10 kilometers from here, on an abandoned farm near the river." "Name?" Dale Kramer." Hammer picked up his cell phone. He dialed. He waited. "Yes, it's me. You need to send a patrol car to the Route 9 checkpoint. Now, no, it can't wait. There's an injured woman, a child in danger, and a son of a bitch who needs to be arrested before he escapes." He hung up. He looked at Edge. "The police will be here in 20 minutes. And Dale, we'll go after it." Edge looked at Iris, at Eli. "I can't leave them here." "He won't let them." Hammer pointed to the other bikers. "Torch stays. Take care of them until the police arrive." One of the men nodded. "You can leave it to me." Edge hesitated. He looked at Iris. "You stay with him. Don't leave here. When the police arrive, you tell them everything." She held his hand. "And you?" "I'll be back." "Promise?" Edge didn't like making promises, but he looked her in the eyes and said, "I promise." Then he got on the motorcycle. Hammer and the other two did the same. Engines started. A deep rumble tore through the early morning hours. Edge looked at Eli one last time. The boy raised his hand. He didn't wave, he just raised it. And Edge understood. "Thanks." He waved back. Then he accelerated, and he disappeared into the darkness, following Hammer towards the river, knowing that what was to come next was going to be worse, much worse. The road was dirt. Dust rose behind the motorcycles, illuminated by their tail lights. Edge followed Hammer closely. The third biker, named Ash, was right behind him. Nobody spoke. Only the roar of the engines and the wind cutting through the early morning hours. Edge tried to focus, but the image of Eli wouldn't leave his head. The way he had looked at her, the way he had asked for help without asking, the way you trusted him. Children shouldn't have to trust strangers. But when no one else listens, strangers become the only chance. 10 minutes later, Hammer raised his hand. He slowed down. Edge did the same. They pulled over to the side of the road, engines still running. "There," said Hammer, pointing. At the end of the dirt road, dim lights. A low building, an old shed. 2 cars parked in front. One of them was a white van with no windows on the sides. Edge felt his stomach churn. "How many do you think are inside?" Ash asked. "I don't know, but if he's waiting for the fat guy to bring more people, he's prepared." "Armed?" "For sure." Edge looked at the two of them. Are the police coming? I already called, but it will take a while. The nearest police station is 40 minutes from here. 40 minutes is a very long time. I know. Hammer turned off the motorcycle. He got off. He pulled a pistol from his waistband. Edge's eyes widened. Are you armed? Always. This isn't going to end well. This isn't ending well. Hammer shoved the gun back inside. But I won't shoot unless I have to. What if I need to? Then you pray for the police to arrive quickly. Ash also got off. He wasn't armed, but he was carrying an iron bar attached to his motorcycle. Edge was the last to go down. He had no weapon. He had no stick, just his fists, and a lot of anger. What's the plan? He asked. Go in. See how many there are. If there are people trapped, take them out. If Dale is there, hold them until the police arrive. What if he reacts? Hammer looked at him. Then we react too. They walked slowly down the road. They left it before, reaching the shed, cutting through the bushes. They arrived from the side. The building was old. The wood was rotten. The zinc roof was full of holes, but the front door was new, locked with a padlock. Hammer went around. He found a broken window. He looked inside. Edge approached. Do you see anything? Lights on in the back. Movement. How many? It's impossible to see. Ash pointed to another entrance, a side entrance, a metal door, ajar. But they went over there. Hammer pushed slowly. The door groaned but opened. Inside, near total darkness, a strong smell of mold, urine and something chemical. Edge recognized it. Drugs. They lined up, Hammer in front, Edge in the middle, Ash behind. The warehouse was large, divided into sections, stacked boxes, old tools. In the back, light came from a closed room. Voices. Hammer stopped. He raised his hand. He listened. 2 voices. Men. Arguing. I shouldn't have left her there. She was too badly injured. She wasn't going to sell it. Like that. Then I should have killed him. It doesn't kill the merchandise, idiot. Silence. Edge felt the anger rising. Merchandise. They referred to people as merchandise. Hammer stepped forward. Edge followed. They reached the door of the room. Light leaked from underneath. Hammer peered through the fogged-up glass. He gestured. 2 men, no weapons in sight. But then Edge heard something else. Muffled crying. Coming from another room. He looked at Hammer. He pointed. Hammer heard it too. He changed the plan. He pointed at Ash. You stay here. Let me know if you make any moves. Ash nodded. Hammer and Edge went around. They found another door, locked from the outside. Simple latch. Edge opened slowly. Inside, total darkness. He turned on his cell phone flashlight, and he saw 6 people, 4 women, 2 men, all young, sitting on the floor, hands tied, mouths gagged, eyes wide with terror. One of the women was pregnant. Edge felt like he couldn't breathe. God. Hammer entered. He began cutting the ropes. Get out. Slowly, quietly. They obeyed, trembling, some crying silently. Edge helped the pregnant woman to her feet. Are you okay? She shook her head. He said he was going to sell my baby. Edge closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. He opened them again. No one is going to sell anything. You're all leaving here, all of you. But then they heard. Shout, Ash. And then I'll take it off. Edge ran. Hammer followed. They left the 6 people in the room and went back to the warehouse. Ash was on the ground, blood on his shoulder, his face contorted in pain. 2 men stood in the doorway of the brightly lit room. One was holding a pistol, the other, a knife. Don't move, shouted the armed man. Nobody move. Edge stopped. He slowly raised his hands. Hammer didn't move. He looked at Ash, then at the men. You shot an innocent person. Innocent? The man laughed. You trespassed on private property. Private property full of kidnapped people. I don't know what you're talking about. So let me refresh your memory. Hammer pointed to the room behind him. 6 people, locked in, tied up. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The man turned pale. You shouldn't have come here. But I came. And the police are coming too. The police aren't coming. They never have. This time it's coming. The man looked at his partner, uncertain. Edge seized the opportunity. Drop the weapon. End this now, before it gets worse. Would it get worse? The man pointed the gun at him. It won't get worse, because you're leaving here, now. Not without them. They are mine. They belong to no one. The man took a deep breath. His finger trembled on the trigger. Then Ash groaned. And the man looked. That was enough. Hammer moved forward quickly. He disarmed the man before he even realized it. He twisted his arm. The man screamed. The pistol fell to the ground. The other man ran. Edge chased after him. The man tried to stab him with the knife. Edge dodged. He grabbed the wrist, twisted it. He heard the snap. The man yelled. The knife fell. Edge pushed him against the wall. He grabbed him by the neck. How many more? Just the 2 of us. Lie. I swear. Edge pressed harder. Where's Dale? I don't know. He didn't come today. Where does he live? I don't know. Edge looked into the man's eyes. He saw fear, but he also saw truth. He really didn't know. He let go. The man fell to the ground, clutching his eye. Broken arm. Edge returned. Hammer had already tied up the other one. Ash was sitting, pressing his shoulder. It is fine? I've been through worse, said Ash, his face pale. But I need a hospital. Police bring ambulance. If they arrive on time. Hammer looked at the shed. Get the people out of here, put them outside, away from those sons of bitches. Edge obeyed. He went back into the room. The 6 people were still there, trembling. Come on, get out, slowly. They followed him. Edge led them outside. The pregnant woman almost fell. He caught her. Just a little more. Hang in there. Outside the air was cold, clean. People took deep breaths. Some cried. Others just stood in silence, staring at the empty road as if they still couldn't believe they had left. Edge heard sirens in the distance. Finally. 5 minutes later, 3 police cars pulled up in front of the warehouse. Officers got out. An ambulance arrived shortly after. A detective approached. An older man. Tired face. Who called? Me, said Hammer. What happened here? Hammer told the story, everything. The gas station, the fat man, Iris, Eli, the shed, the 6 people. The officer listened in silence. Then he looked at the victims. Jesus Christ. There's more, Edge said. The guy who runs this isn't here. Dale Kramer. He comes in the morning to pick up people. Kramer? The officer frowned. I know that name. From where? Old file. Suspected trafficking. We were never able to prove it. He looked at the warehouse. Now we can. He called other police officers. Isolate the area, collect everything, and send reinforcements to the Route 9 checkpoint. There's another person involved there. He's already been arrested, Hammer said. Great, 1 less. The detective looked at Edge. You're going to have to give a statement. We'll go. But there's a child at the gas station, Eli. He's alone. He needs someone. The social worker will go. I don't want a social worker. I want someone who will truly care. The officer sighed. I'll see what I can do. Edge didn't answer. He knew what that meant. Nothing. Eli was going to end up in the system, foster home, temporary family. And one day, he was going to escape, like Edge escaped, unless someone took him away from there. Edge looked at Hammer. Is there anything we can do for him? Hammer remained silent. Then he said, "Perhaps." Edge returned to the station with Hammer. Torch was still there. Iris was asleep in the back of a patrol car. Eli was sitting on the ground, leaning against Torch's motorcycle, hugging his knees. When he saw Edge, he stood up. And there, we caught them. All? Most of them. One is still at large, but the police will find him. Eli looked at the ground. What now? Now you are safe. Where? Edge hesitated. There are people who take care of children. Safe places. They'll take you. Like an orphanage? Type. Eli shook his head. I've been through 3 already. I always run away. Why? Because nobody really wants it. They're just pretending. And when you realize it, you're back on the street again. Edge lowered himself. He looked into his eyes. Eli, I know it's difficult, but you can't be alone. Why not? I'll manage. You are 8 years old. So what? I've seen things adults don't see. Edge took a deep breath. I know, I saw it too. Eli looked at him. Did you live on the street? I lived here. And how did you get out? Someone helped me. Who? A motorcyclist. Looks like us. Eli remained silent, then he asked, Did he adopt you? No. He taught me to fend for myself, and when I grew up I joined the club. And now you help others? When it's possible, Eli thought. Can you help me? Edge felt his chest tighten. Eli, only until I grow up. I promise I won't be any trouble. That's not how it works. So how does it work? Edge had no answer, because the truth was, it didn't work. Children like Eli fell through the cracks in the system, and nobody fixed it. Hammer approached. The social worker has arrived. Edge looked. A middle-aged woman was getting out of a car, tired face, briefcase under her arm. Eli saw it too. He stepped back. No, I'm not going. Or, I said I'm not going. He ran. Edge went after him. Eli, wait. But the boy was quick. He cut behind the post. Edge followed him. He went through the thicket. He saw Eli climbing onto an old fence. Eli, stop. The boy looked back. His eyes were full of tears. You said you were going to help me. And I'm going. Liar, you're going to leave me with her. Edge stopped under the fence. Eli, get down from there. No, please. You don't understand. I can't go back. If I go back, they'll find me. Who? The men at the gas station. They know I spoke. They're going to kill me. Edge felt his blood run cold. Which men? Those who helped Dale. There are more. There are always more. Edge looked back. Hammer was standing near the post, watching. He looked at Eli. Again. How many more? I don't know. But they come here, every month. They bring people, and if someone says anything... Eli ran his finger across his neck. Edge climbed onto the fence. He stood beside the boy. Eli, look at me. The boy looked. I won't let anyone hurt you, understand? No one. How are you going to do that? I'll stay with you. You can't. You have to leave. Then you're coming with me. Eli's eyes widened. Seriously? Edge didn't know if it was serious. He didn't know if he could. He didn't know if the club would allow it. But he looked at that boy, dirty, scared, alone, and said, serious. Eli jumped over the fence. He hugged Edge tightly. Edge stood still for a second. Then he placed his hand on his back. Let's go back. Talk to Hammer. See what we can do. They returned together. The social worker was still there. Hammer saw Edge arriving with Eli. And there. He stays with me. The social worker frowned. Excuse me, who are you? Edge Rider. And you're related to him? No. Then he can't stay with you. He needs to go to foster care. He's not going. It's not your choice. Edge stepped forward. What if I make it work? As temporary custody. I'll take care of him until you find something better. The woman sighed. It doesn't work like that. There's a process, an evaluation, visits. Then the process begins. She looked at Eli, then at Edge. Do you have a house? I have. Job? I have. Background? Edge hesitated. Clean. That was true. More or less. The woman thought, I'm going to need to talk to my supervisor. He speaks. She picked up her cell phone. She walked away. Hammer approached. Do you know what you're getting yourself into? No. Then why are you doing it? Edge looked at Eli. Because someone did it for me. Hammer remained silent. Then he nodded. The social worker returned. My supervisor said it's okay. Temporary. 30 days. Then we'll reassess. Edge breathed. Thank you. But if something goes wrong, he's out. Immediately. Nothing will go wrong. She handed over some papers. Sign here. Edge signed. And at that moment, everything changed. Because now he was not just a motorcyclist, he was responsible for someone. And that meant he couldn't run from anything anymore. Not from anyone. Not Dale Kramer, which was still out there, waiting. 2 weeks later, Edge took Eli to his house. A small cabin in the middle of nowhere. A living room, a bedroom, a bathroom, an old kitchen. It wasn't much, but it was his. Eli looked around. Is this where you live? And? Alone? Until now. The boy didn't say anything, he just went inside. He left his old backpack on the floor. Inside, everything he owned. 2 t-shirts, a pair of pants, a crumpled photo of a woman he said was his mother, dead for 3 years, overdose. Edge set up a mattress on the living room floor. You sleep here, I'll get something better later. It's okay. Are you hungry? Always. Edge made scrambled eggs, toast, coffee. Eli ate in silence, quickly, like someone who didn't know when they would eat again. Then he sat down on the old sofa. He looked out the window. What do you do all day? I work. I repair motorcycles. I do odd jobs. And the club? Also, when needed. What do you do? Edge thought. We help those in need. Like me? Like you. Eli remained silent. What if Dale's guys come after us? They're not coming. How do you know? Because the police caught most of them, and the rest escaped. And Dale? They still haven't found it. Eli looked at him. He'll be back. Perhaps. No, he will, I know. Edge sat down next to him. How do you know? Because I saw him. Before. He said he would come back. That he always comes back. When was this? At the gas station, 2 days before you arrived. He stopped to refuel. He saw me and the girl from the trailer. He said we were worth money. That he was going to pick us up. Edge felt his stomach churn. Did you tell the police about this? I told them. And what did they say? They were going to look for it, but it's been 2 weeks already. Edge stood up. He picked up his cell phone. He called Hammer. Hello? Do you have any news about Dale? Nothing. The police are looking for him, but the guy disappeared. Eli said that he promised to return. Go back for what? To pick him up. Silence. Edge, do you think he knows where you live? No, nobody knows. He is sure. Edge looked around. The cabin was isolated, no neighbors, no cameras. Nobody passed by. But precisely for that reason it was vulnerable. If someone wanted to attack, no one would listen. I'll be careful. Do you want someone to keep an eye on things? It is not necessary. Edge, I know how to take care of myself, Hammer. It's not you I'm worried about. It's the kid. Edge looked at Eli, still sitting on the couch, looking out the window. He's fine. Edge turned it off. But he couldn't sleep that night. He stayed awake, sitting on the porch, pistol in his lap, staring at the empty road. Nothing happened. But 3 days later, it happened. Edge had gone to buy groceries. He left Eli locked inside. Don't open it for anyone. Understand? Understood. When he returned, the door was open. Edge dropped the bags. He ran inside. Silence. The living room was empty. The bedroom too. Bathroom, kitchen. Nothing. So you saw. On the table, a note. Crooked letters, written in haste. He's with me. If you want him back, come alone. Old farm, midnight. Edge crumpled the paper. He felt the anger explode. He picked up his cell phone. He called Hammer. He took Eli. Who? Dale. He left a note. He wants me to go alone. It won't. I have to go. Not alone. We'll go together. He said it all by himself. And you think he's going to return the boy just because you left? Edge remained silent. He's going to kill you, Edge. And he's going to kill Eli, too. So what do I do? Wait. We'll call the police. There's not enough time. Edge. He hung up. He looked at the clock. 6 p.m. 6 o'clock until midnight, 6 hours to decide whether to go alone or risk taking Eli. But deep down, I already knew the answer. Because I had promised, and promise was promise. Edge arrived at the old farm 10 minutes before midnight. He hid the motorcycle far away. He walked through the bushes. The building was dark. Only a faint light came from the barn. He stopped. He listened. Silence. He pulled the pistol from his waistband. He checked. 6 bullets. He took a deep breath. Then he went in. The barn smelled of old hay and rust. Tools hung on the walls. In the center, a chair, and in it, Eli, tied up, mouth taped shut, eyes wide open. Edge took a step. Then he heard the voice behind him. You came. He turned. Dale Kramer was in the shadows. Tall man, thin, face marked by scars, crooked smile. Of course I came. Alone? As you requested. Dale stepped forward. He was holding a pistol, bigger than Edge's. Lay down your weapon. Edge hesitated. Let go, or I'll shoot him first. Edge dropped the pistol on the ground. Dale kicked it away. Good boy. What do you want? What I've always wanted. Money. Money? You screwed me over. You destroyed my business. You imprisoned my partners. I lost everything. You deserved to lose. Maybe, but now I want it back. I don't have any money. I know, but your club has it. Edge understood. You want rescue. 50,000 by noon tomorrow, or the boy dies. 50,000? Are you crazy? You have a club full of bikers. They'll sort it out. They're not going to give you any money. Then the kid dies. Dale pointed the gun at Eli. Just like that. Edge raised his hands. Wait. Wait. There's no waiting. Give me an hour. I'll try. Dale thought. 1 hour. But you stay here, as a guarantee. No, I need to go. You're not going anywhere. Dale walked over to Eli. He pressed the gun against the boy's head. Or I'll shoot you now. Edge felt his blood run cold. Eli wept silently, her eyes fixed on him. Okay, I'll stay. Dale smiled. Clever. He threw an old cell phone to Edge. Talk to your club. 50,000, noon. Edge picked up his cell phone. He dialed. Hammer answered on the second ring. Edge, it is me. Where are you? Old farm, with Dale. Son of a bitch, I'm going to... No, listen, he wants 50,000 by noon, or he'll kill Eli. Silence. Hammer? We don't have 50,000, Edge. I know. And even if we did, we wouldn't give it to him. I know. So what do you want me to do? Edge looked at Eli, at Dale, at the gun. Buy some time. Call the police. Do something. I already called. They're coming. How long? 20 minutes. Edge looked at his watch. 10 past midnight. 20 minutes felt like an eternity. Try to hold him back, Hammer said. Don't let him do anything. Talk. Distract yourself. Anything. Edge hung up. He threw the phone back. Dale took it. So? They're going to try to fix it. Trying won't work. It is what it is. Dale paced in circles, nervous. The gun was still pointed at Eli. Edge looked for a way out, but there wasn't one. The walls were made of old wood, the door was locked, the windows were too high, and Dale stood between him and Eli. "Why do you do this?" Edge asked. "What?" "That's it. Hurting a child." Dale shrugged. "Because it pays well." "Doesn't that bother you?" "No, not at all. They're just merchandise, just like anything else." Edge felt anger rising. "They're people. Not for me. You are sick." Dale smiled. "And you're an idiot. Who cares about street kids?" "I care." "Why?" "Because I was one." Dale stopped. He looked at him. "Serious?" "Serious. And what has changed?" "Someone helped me." "And now you want to help others?" Dale laughed. "That's lovely, but it won't work, because that kid's already been marked, and so are, you?" Edge took a step. "Marked by whom?" "For people who pay more than you imagine, people who don't like to lose." "Who?" "You'll find out." Dale raised his gun. "After I'm dead." Then Edge listened. Sirens. Dale heard it too. He turned his head. That was enough. Edge advanced. Edge grabbed Dale's wrist. He twisted it. The gun fired into the air. The sound echoed through the barn. Eli screamed muffledly. Dale tried to break free, but Edge was stronger, faster, and much angrier. He punched Dale in the face. Once, twice, 3 times. The man fell. Edge picked up the gun. He pointed it. "Stay on the ground." Dale spat blood. "You don't have the guts." "Yes, I have." "Then shoot." Edge froze, finger on the trigger, rage burning. It would be so easy. One shot, and it would be over. But then he looked at Eli. The boy shook his head, crying. Edge took a deep breath. He lowered his weapon. "It's not worth it." Dale laughed. "Weak." Then the door exploded. Police officers entered, weapons raised. "Nobody's moving." Edge dropped the pistol. He raised his hands. Dale tried to stand up. A police officer tackled him, handcuffs, rights reading. Edge ran to Eli. He cut the ropes. He removed the tape from his mouth. "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" Eli hugged him, tightly, trembling. "I thought he was going to kill you." "I wasn't going. I promised I would come back." "But you almost died." "It hardly counts." Eli buried his face in his chest. Edge held on tight. Hammer entered. He looked at the scene, then at Edge. "You're crazy." "I know." "He could have died." "I know." "And the kid too." "I know." Hammer shook his head. "But it worked." This time, a police officer approached. "You're going to have to give a statement. Go to people. And the boy needs a social worker." "He already has it. Me." The police officer looked at Eli, then at Edge. "Temporary custody." "That. So you are responsible." "On. I hope you know what you're getting yourself into." Edge looked at Eli. "I know. More or less." 3 months later, Edge and Eli were on the road. The Harley purred softly. The sun was setting on the horizon. Red, orange, gold. Eli was sitting in the back. His arms were around Edge's waist. His helmet was too big for his head. "Where are we going?" "Nowhere." "So why are we walking?" "Just because." Eli smiled. "Okay." They drove around for another hour, aimlessly, in no hurry. When they stopped, it was near an old diner, neon lights flashing, the smell of bacon and coffee. They went inside. They sat on a bench near the window. A waitress approached. "What will it be?" 2 hamburgers, fries, chocolate milkshake." She wrote it down. "Right away." Eli looked out the window. "Edge." "Hey, thanks." "For what reason?" "Because he didn't leave me." Edge felt a tightening in his chest. I would never leave you. I know, but other people left. I am not other people. Eli looked at him. I know. They fell silent. The food arrived. They ate slowly, without haste. Then they went back to the road. And as the wind cut across his face, Edge thought, he had saved Eli. But perhaps Eli would have saved him too. Because for the first time in a long time, Edge wasn't alone. And that made all the difference. The road continued, endless, full of curves, of potholes, of dangers. But now he wasn't running anymore. I was going home, and that was enough. If this story touched you, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because stories like this need to be told. Next video, a girl disappears at a bus station and Edge will discover that the culprit is someone no one expected.